my name is Karin and I'm from Extraordinary Fitness. And today we are going to do a little tiny boot camp for aerialists, which are stranded because of the lockdown or because of Christmas or because of not having some equipment around, but you really want to condition, you feel for a short stretch. I put together some exercises for you so you can work anyway on something, because you don't always need to hang in there in order to get strong for aerial things. It's really my experience. I have been injured in my shoulder and I did a lot of these small exercises. And once actually I was back, I was recovering, I felt that I didn't have to work on that part at least. My core and everything was strong. So let's go for it. We start with exercise with a shoe spoon. Make sure you're warm before you do all the exercises. So we will take a spoon, a shoe horn, is it called? I think in English. So you have two options. Option one, just pull the knees to your chest and you go through, like trying to go through with bent legs. This would be the easier version. It's a little bit harder or more challenging. So you actually try to straighten your feet, lifting up your arms, lifting up your legs, and then passing it through. Try it a few times and then we will go on to the next exercise. So if you want to repeat each exercise 2-3 times, you just stop the video and you do that. The next exercise I want to show you, and I want you to do, is to take a ankle weight on each leg. Take this one away. And you lay on your back. You don't have to use the ankle weight. This is up to you. I use an ankle weight because it shows me the way better. Plus, actually, it makes it in one way harder, in one way lighter. So try both ways. But you will lie straight on your back, and there you can do different things. Always make sure that you push your core down, so you are your back is on the floor. You can have your arms here, or over your head, or holding something. It's easier when you have beside your body because you can push a bit. Number one, you're going to take your knees to your chest and try to keep your back as long as possible on the floor. Then you straighten your legs and you lift over, and then you roll it slowly down again, all the way. Bend your legs and straighten them. Knees to the chest, straighten them, over the head, down, bend and straighten. Bend, over the head, down, bend and straighten. Good. So far so good. If you feel like this is okay for you, you are going to do the next exercise. This time you are lifting with straight legs over your head. Make sure you have your lower back on the floor, have the hands beside you on the mat or over your head. This is up to you. Lift your legs. Keep your core engaged all the time. Pull your belly button in. Lift them over your head. And then when you go down, try to first get your hips on the floor. Keep your feet there and then you open them up. Same again. Lift them up. Get them towards your face as much as you can before you lift your hips. And then you roll over. And then same thing on the way back. Try to keep the feet over your head before you place your back down. And then you lift them down. This is the second level of this exercise. You feel comfortable with this one? Or even with not comfortable, I would like you to try to do it in a straddle, because this is another thing we use a lot, the aerial inward. And by doing it that way, you can actually really train this. You will still have to have the hanging strength, you will still have to have the arms, shoulder strength, but you can work the whole way and also the whole strength on the floor. And with weights, it gets even heavier. So it will help you a lot once you do it in the air. So next exercise, same thing. Lying on your back, pushing down your upper back towards the floor. And then first thing is you kind of roll your hip open. You engage your legs, but you open them. And then you slowly open them to the side as much as you can. And then you try to keep them kind of along the floor as much as you can. And once you are on a level, you will have to lift, you have to engage your hip, roll your hip up and come up over. Same thing on the way down. The goal is actually, I turn a bit so you see it. When you're here, the goal would be to first to keep your legs here. Okay. The goal here would be to keep your legs as long as possible over your head, roll down your hip, open your legs, push them to the side as much as you can, and then roll them together there. Same thing again, open your legs, roll them. So the whole time I'm feeling like I'm rolling them this way. rolling them, feet pointing almost to the floor. Roll them over, over, over. And once you can't anymore, you will have to round your hip, roll up, and then roll back down again. And back to the floor. You can do this with ankle weights. It will definitely make it heavier. You can do it without. You can have the arms over your head. There's lots of different options. All of them will work it. But when you do the one to the side, really think about opening your legs in that way, to open and roll them up. You want to have the inside of your thigh showing upwards, kind of, to roll it up. It will help you to get over, and it also strengthens the right muscles. So this is already 2 very good exercises. Number 3, it's not really like an aerial exercise, but it helps you to engage your core very much. And it also, like even in aerial or in pole, you do all these handstand pushes, you do handsprings, you lift up your hip. In aerial stuff, you even need it as well. It's the same systems. If you're doing straps, pushing up and then going up to a handstand, or whatever you do, this is a great exercise for that. Or even if your dream is to do a slow handstand push-up, this one helps a lot for it. Place your knee between, place the ball on your chin, like foot and knee are outside of the ball, so you place it just about in the middle. Both hands on the floor, shoulder width apart, not wider. And then, like I said, the ball should be somewhere there. Push out of your shoulders, have your shoulders over your hands. Engage your core, push your legs into the ball so you have a core engaged. And then you push into the floors with your arms, keep your arms straight and roll up until you are 90 degrees. And then you roll slowly down again. And you repeat this. If you are up here and feel really comfortable, you can always try to lift the leg and down. Of the first 2 or 3 go for 6 to 8 repetitions, and I promise you, you'll feel it in your core. So this was some really, in my eyes, great conditioning exercises. I have one more, last one, and that's basically to just place what you have here, your ankle weights or your blocks, place them on the floor. That exercise is actually never getting really bad. You should always do it. Have them placed out, whatever you have. You can have a water bottle. Try to keep your back as straight as possible. So if you hang here, if you go backwards, you won't have the same effect because you want to work the psoas muscle as well. So press your sit bones into the floor, be straight in your back, and then lift your legs over your weights. You can even go out there and back in. Straight at all time, push it up and work this. You will feel it a lot and it's awesome. So give these 4 exercises a try, and then I will show you now 3 of my favorite exercises for stretching. Like now we've been working on the straddle. Actually, we should have almost done it before because pancakes, straddle is really important for lots of aerial things. Like for your inwards, you use them all the time, flares, hanging in a position, it helps a lot to have them stretched. So what I do when I do it as a conditioning way, because right now we are talking a little bit more about conditioning. So I will take a weight. Normally I take maybe 8 kilo, but I've been doing it before. So you choose yourself. Sit in a straddle where you are kind of okay. Put the weight on your back, somehow like this, and then you just do crunches. First, you go to the side, do 5 on each side, 3, 4, 5 on the other side, 1, 2, make sure that your elbow 3 is on the inside of your arm, 4, 5, and then you go 5 forward. 1, try to keep your back as flat as possible. The goal is not to come with the head to the floor. 4, 5, stay there a bit. The goal is actually to come with a straight back forward and work the muscles, because when you do it, you can feel how you're actually with your legs pushing into the floor in order to push yourself up again, or even forward side. Same thing. You work your leg muscles in order to come back up, and that's what we want to work on. We want to get strong in the legs as well in these positions. You will feel afterwards a pancake will be much easier to go forward, but that's not what we are working on. Next exercise, again, it is a aerial is a lot of shoulders, and like me, I had a really bad shoulder injury. Other people maybe have stiff shoulders. Often we hurt our shoulders. So I realized for myself that strengthening my shoulders and working on shoulder flexibility is more important than ever. So every time, once after aerial, when I've done it, I feel like at least I have to do this exercise. So you're placing yourself on the floor. You can bend your legs, you can straighten them. This is totally up to you. Take 2 or 3 blocks. This is, again, you will have to feel if it's the first time you do it. You take 2. If you are super bendy, which I'm not in my back, you take 3 or 4. Take a weight which you feel you can work with. So in the beginning, I'd recommend rather you take a smaller weight and work your way up and feel comfortable than taking a too heavy weight and actually hurt yourself. You place the blocks for this one like somewhere on your shoulder blades. So your shoulders are placed on it. Your hips and your butt is on the floor, and you will push the weight out of your shoulders. So what is really important for this one is that you are super like pushing them out, so you're not hanging in there. You're pushing it out, and then you slowly push it away from you all time. Let it go over your head and towards the floor. And this, maybe they just land on the floor if you're lucky. Mine don't now, because I've been working a lot today. So then I have to let it slowly sink down, but I work it all the time in terms of pushing it away from my ears. I push the weight away from my head out. I don't bend my arms, I push it out all the time. Then I work to push my hips down and opening my chest slowly. Breathe. You can let your head hang if you want. And then push the weight back up with straight arms. And come slowly up. So this exercise I normally do once, twice, or 3 times. Actually minimum 2 times, because the first time it might be really hard. You've just been working, everything is stiff, and then you slowly push it out and you feel how it slowly opens up your chest. I have my triceps, which can be a little bit stiff, the part from the elbow to the shoulders to go back. So what I do is I take a rubber band, I put it over my head, and I have it under my foot like this. Close my chest, I grab my shoulders, my elbow, and I slowly, basically let it hang and let it open up. So the hand points downwards, the rubber band is tense, and I'm stretching my triceps. I am sure, I promise you, you feel a nice stretch here somewhere along your arms. And of course, you do the other side as well. And kind of important, however you do that, you find a small routine after your aerial training. You don't have to do like an hour stretch session, but to kind of realize which parts of your body have the tendency to get closed and locked when you do aerial, and which parts of your body would you like to give a little extra stretch before you finish your session, or even kind of the days when you're at home and you have some extra time, you can work these areas. So this was the whole little training routine. Give it a try. I know the first one with the shoehorn is more like a game because you can't always manage, but you will feel it in your car. And I hope you had fun, and I wish you a nice holiday time, and see you again soon. Bye!